I've been here for 2 months. I'm going to check this out. There we go. My name is Steve Michelle. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to you, and it is extended because we've got everyone out in the hallway, and although we can go and play rugby again at midday, we can't be within 2 metres of each other just yet. So less than 100 in the room. I'm happy with our social distancing, and of course you must sign the register for contact tracing. Last case in the Waikato where I live was proved to be unsymptomatic yesterday, so I can't bring it down here for you either. So thank you very much for the appreciation of sitting in the bubbles. Remember, if you win the auction, don't hug the person next to you if they're not in your bubble. Right? You can do that if you're next to the person that you love. Right, we're going to go through the conduct of auction. The auctions are actually going to be 15 minutes apart because we set the timings before the announcements or the new rules that came into play today at midday. So if you're here for lot 2, it'll be at 1:15. If you're here for lot 3, it will be at 1:30. So I apologise for that. We're almost back to normal stages. Of course, extend a warm welcome to our live streaming now, which is the camera in the middle of the room. You can watch our auctions on the internet under the Bayleys website, but you can't bid through the internet, so there's no keyboard warriors at home. It'll either be you folk in the room here, and maybe some telephone bidding that is passed through to me. So we keep the auction as live as we can. Of course, at any auction, you're bidding on a cash unconditional basis. It means you've satisfied yourself that the properties suit your needs. So your due diligence may include building report or limb reports on the particular properties that you have interest in. You may be checking leases or rentals. Legal advice to the contract. Of course, your deposit is due today, which is 10% as part payment of the purchase price, so you would have had to have financial approval before today. And if you've got all of that organised, we wish you well. It gives certainty to both our sellers and to purchasers, so it's the best forum in which to buy them. I'm not sure what the media has been saying down here in Taranaki. It's my first trip down after lockdown, but it's really busy. So our company, Waikato Bay Plenty Taranaki, we've transacted 185 properties this month. So if the media are telling you it's going one way, we think it's going the other way, particularly in the short term. So if you're here to bid and buy today, you'll see by the turnout for 3 properties, we encourage you to put your best foot forward. With regard to Overseas Investment Act, you do need to be a New Zealand resident or citizen, an Australian or a Singaporean of the same, to bid on a residential property auction. That includes the lifestyle block in lot 1 as well, because you have you've got what's his name, Winston Peters rules. Okay, so we keep you away from that. If you're outside of that, you won't get a consent. With regard to the conduct of auction, that's in your documents, so you're bidding on the documents available to you here. I'll go through the channels of each of the properties, but I would like to cover off the conduct of auction as well. Thank you, Nicole. There it is there. So 2.1 to 2.8. I have a reserve price for each of the properties, and subject to reaching the reserve price, I'll make it very clear that I'm putting the property on the market to sell. If we have bidding and it falls below the reserve price, then I'll approach the highest bidder with a pause on the auction and give you an opportunity to meet our owner's expectations. We'll do that outside of the room, and then I'll return to the room with the instructions of whether we're selling the property or not. So we don't give a priority right to the highest bidder to deal exclusively with our seller after the auction. You have that opportunity during the auction. Of course, you will appreciate there's a number of parties that haven't put themselves in an unconditional position, and they're hoping the properties don't sell. So you want to remove it from the market from then if you can. The owner, they reserve the right to bid through the auctioneer. Vendor bidding is allowed in New Zealand property law. You don't have any limits on vendor bidding, but there are rules. I'm the only party that can place a bid on behalf of the sellers. I must state that it is a vendor bid, so you're not misled to a fictitious buyer. So I'll be very clear. Hopefully, with the turnouts, I don't think I'll need to make vendor bids, but perhaps maybe if there's a shy start for us. I can refuse bids. What I mean by that is I'll nominate rises from time to time which reflect the value of the property in which we are at. If that rise is beyond your strategy, I'm happy to take a question, but please don't be offended if I decline your bid. I had a chap back in February offered me $16. Well, that's a good bid, but it was more than what I currently had, but not enough to count in 16s. Everyone's trying to count in 16s, 32, 48. It gets quite difficult, doesn't it? So we'll try and stick to the round numbers. And if there's a dispute arising, that's where two parties want the same bid. The easiest way to separate yourselves is to advance it. However, just for your knowledge, I'll call the first bid I see. So be clear in calling out your bid and raising your hand so that I can associate that with the right person. The successful person, okay, after the yahoos, will do the signing of the documentation. So please just wait behind. The associate agents will come to you, fill in the documentation, give you our trust account details for the arrangement of the deposit. There is a consent to enter into agreement form that needs to be completed also, as well as the GST schedule, which is annexed. It doesn't affect the bidding on the property, but it's a look through from the IRD. Lots of fine print, I know. Are there any questions before we begin? Is anyone too scared to make a noise? You've got one. Yes, ma'am. It's inclusive on the properties. I'll read those through for you, yes. The document has it clear in the memorandum for you. Okay, so what you bid is what you pay, mate. Yeah. Residential property doesn't attract GST in New Zealand, and I know we've got a couple of lifestyles, but they're both offered to you inclusive. So let's move through to the first offering here today, and that's at number 22 at Narrow Beach Road. And we've got a fee simple estate here, wonderful parcel of land. I was on there this morning, and a wonderful building site there, separated in thirds really, Neil, isn't it, with the property. So you've got the orchard, the big building site, and then it slopes through the Putakavas to the beach area. You've got a land area of 1.4468 hectares more or less, and your identifier record of title number from the Taranaki Land Registry is 229 folio 85. Vacant possession for the site is the 26th of June 2020. So you'll be making your building plans from the fall of a hammer, but that is when you'll own it. You'll see there's a number of clauses associated with the property there. Clauses 21, 22 and 23, you need to be familiar with those in the further terms. And then the settlement date, there is a COVID alert level there, but because it's a vacant section, you'll be settling on that date. So it's where the coast meets the sea. We've put up there the wonderful orchard part and the beautiful climate in which the studies have been done by George Mason, the owner of the property, and there's the building platform for you, and wonderful opportunity here to buy into the village. Currently split, as I said, orchard, pasture, and into the sloping cliff top, as you can see from the front of the slide. There in front of you. That microclimate has made it ideal for growing the fruit. I think that's some nasty pears. They are nasty pears, right? Yeah, I've got that right. And I usually sell kiwi fruit, you see, so they're a bit furrier. And then, of course, you've got that wonderful flat area there in which to develop. So you've got some wonderful properties around you too, of different ages and different calibres, but this one certainly deserves a good property put on top. I'm going to go straight to the bidding now. Lot 1, who's going to call me away?
310.
310, you've come prepared, AJ. At 310, I'm going to wish you well though at the level now, 310, who's going to bid me long? Let's go 20s from here, 330 I'll be seeking, easily worth above this level now, 310, who's got 330? Thank you madam, clearly the GST is not a problem. At 350 is it? 350 and 70 madam? And 70 now. At 370 bid now, will you bid me 90? At $370,000 ever the first call, taking 20s from the room now, 2 bidding buy, and 90 here. At 90, how about 410? Going in 20s at this level here, at 390,000, have you got 20 more? First call now, 390,000. And 410, you bid it. 4 on it now, 410, who's next? And 430. At 430, warming up, don't ignore the start. At 430, bid, you coming back, who's got 450 for me? At 450, I send it down the middle. At $450,000 in, phone hang up, is it? At 450, just coming along to give me a start. At 450, we love those guys. 470, you're here. At 470, bid down, how about 90? First call now, 470,000. I'll take tens if it helps you there. At 480 it is. At 480, if you got 90, sir. At 480 and 90 on the knot. At 490,000 needs to be the even 5. At 500 here. At 500 bid, how about 510? And 510 and 20. Hard to replace it, isn't it? At 520, it's against you, sir, this side. And 30 here. 40, 40 straight back. At 540. At 540 and 50. 60 now. 70, 80. You might want the 6, it's a good strategic position.
Come on, more.
At 90, you never say that either. At 590, see one more, you're going to have to bid against them. 6. At 600. At 600,000, sir, what would you like to do at 600? First call now.
600.
Second call at 600,000. What about you bid? 610. At 610. And 20. 30. 40. 50. Don't pause now. I haven't got another one for you. At $650,000. What about a 5? At 650. But I get a further advance, I'll sell a property. The high bid is seated at the back at 650. Be clear for the sake of a 5. Your chance for the section. First call, we're selling here at 650,000. Second call.
60.
And 60, good bid. 10 or 5, sir?
5.
5 is 65.
70.
And 7. And 5. 8 or half. At 75, been a good auction. There's been 1, 2, 3, 6 of you on it. Popular place at 675. I'll call 3 times before we go. High bid is here. We're selling for the sake of a 5. Second call. Third and final opportunity at 675. It's going to be sold here at lot 1. It is going. You sure, sir?
80.
That's what I get paid for.
85.
85. You've said that before, so I'm going to have to dwell at 85. What about 2.5? Have you seen the interest rates this week? At 685. First call now. Second call. Third and final, can you judge it to 2.5? Very unique property. That'll be the capital gain next week. Final chance we go. At 685 it is going. Go on, sold here, congratulations. Okay. So long as you're aware you're bidding on full acceptance of the terms and conditions as they're written, I may go through them again at 1:30 for you. So lot 2 has been marketed by Jared Hancock. So there's a young fellow masquerading as him. He's sort of made a bit of a mistake with his haircut. But apparently that's all the rage in New Plymouth, although I can't talk because I don't usually have facial hair either, and that's not a plug at you, because that's a magnificent beard you're running with. But I've made a lockdown bet, so the sooner we can get out of alert level 1, the better. Otherwise, I might be down here. Right, let's move on. Now, number 25 Mount Inchkin Street in New Plymouth is the next property. We have a feasible estate here for you. Your land area, 521 square metres more or less. It's part of section 320 of the town of New Plymouth, and your identifier and your record of title is TN124234. Vacant possession is provided to you for the property 3 weeks from today's date. Your channels list includes the fixed floor coverings along with the curtains and the light fittings. The TV aerial is included along with the 2 dish drawers. You've got the microwave, the range of the refrigerator, also the washing machine taps. There's the drapes, the electric oven and the electric hobs, and no further terms in the fine print. So it's a stylish property presented to you with 2 bedrooms as we go through the bungalow there. Wonderful inviting entranceway above me, and of course it's popular in its city location. It retains all of the characters you'd expect for the age of the home. Residential 9B in its zoning. New double garage as you saw in the entranceway there, and north facing on the inside you'll find as we get through there. The wonderful open plan kitchen area there, nice and light and bright, and it spills through those modern windows out to the living areas around you. Fully fenced for easy care, so you can keep the children or the pets safe on the property. So a property where a lot of the hard work's been done for you, but you're in a great location and something that you can then add value to as you choose to. I'm going to move to the bidding. We've just had an education on how to bid from all the parties here, but we're on the next lot now. Who's going to start me away? 485. At 485 now, let's go in tiers from here. Anyone bidding 495 if you like it. At 495 behind you, and why don't we jump on the 0 and the even 5. At 500 here, that makes it easier for everyone. At 500 there, and what would you like to do? 5 to 10? 505? 10. 10, why not? And 20? And 20 it is. At $520,000, we're just having a little conversation between the 3 of us, isn't it? At 520, it's in front of you, sir, and anyone else can join in at any time. You're coming back at 30, it is here now. How about 40 for you? 40 on the nod. And 50? 42. 42, I'll just check. Anyone want to bid me 5? I'll take you 42, it's not my money. At 42, what was your response be? 47, there we go. That's a 5 on top, and round me with 3 to 550. At 547, the money bid is here. At 547, I'll take 3 to put me on the round number there, looking for 550 around the room. At 547 here, first call now, bid is here. Second call, have you given it your best shot? At 547, you sure? All done? At 547, the high bid, I'm below my instructions. I'll pause and talk here, give them the first opportunity. At my vendor's instructions if we don't do better. At 547, it's your last opportunity. You want to be in that spot? All done? Silent? At 547, you're having a conversation. I don't think you're giving it your best. Have you given it your best? It's a long drive home. I think I looked at ASB the other day and it was 269%. So for 3,000, 3 threes are 900 divided by 12. It's not even lunch a week keeping you away from the property in the highest bid. At 547 here. All done? Well, that's a good strategy too. I'll take it. At 550, I'll still need to come and talk to you though. At 550, nice round number. All done? Silent. At 550, I'm going to talk to you with our instructions. Thank you. turn everything back on. There we go. Can you hear that? Of course you can. Right, well we left the bidding at 550 and it was a good strategic move. We don't see that often, but it's a good strategy for you. But you've increased your bid further to 560,000. Now at this level, my instructions are to sell the property for sake of a better bid. So at 560, if I don't get a further advance, we will be passing the keys to this couple here. I know you've bid previously, you've had a chance to consider your position. I'm happy to go in singles too from here, otherwise we sell it away at $560,000 ever the first call now. Second call now, 560 we sell. That is just a scratch of your nose, sir. Could be a very expensive bid. Third final opportunity, it goes at 560, it is going. Oh, I'm sold here, congratulations. I know I told you I wouldn't draw it out, and it's probably a long time. Again, folks, got a couple of minutes before 1:30, which is our scheduled time. If you're sitting out, you can come in through here if you'd like to. I'll start 38 McGibbon very, very soon. Okay, and now lot 3, so I appreciate your patience. The parties interested in this property, you've all been familiar with the rules of auction. Would you like me to cover those off for you? Have you just arrived, or were you here when I started? All good? Great. Good to see that you're happy and in control. Because it is an unconditional purchase that you make, so we need to be acceptance of the terms, so the raising of the hand is confirming in all respects the vendor's title and the terms annexed, including the channels. So wonderful property here. Marty Succi and Neil Parkinson have been the marketing agents. So we've got Neil, and I think Marty's just here. He is, comes up here. So wonderful property, another feasible estate, and you've got 1.0452 hectares for the lifestyle property. It is legally known as Lot 6. Deposit plan number is 12897, and your record of title is TN4 466. Now your channels list, which is part and parcel of your sale, includes the fixed-floor coverings, the blinds and the light fittings. In the further terms, you'll also find the TV aerial along with the heat pump, the wood burner, there's the gas heater, the heat transfer system, the dishwasher, the double wall oven, the hob which is gas, also the range hood, the integrated fridge in the hallway, there's the outdoor hardwired speakers, the LED sensor lights in the hallway, there's the alarm system, the central vacuum cleaner, there's 2 heated towel rails, 2 heat expel airs, the lawn and garden sprinkler system, and also the concrete septic tank. Good luck getting that out. That's the first time I've seen that as a channel there, guys. And the water tank. So there is also a number of other channels which you can make some private arrangements with the sales should you be successful. Vacant possession is set down for the 10th of July 2020. And again, to clarify the latest question earlier, you're opening on an inclusive GST basis. So a wonderful property. I think the slide behind me says 1,000 words because you've got that wonderful outdoor area. You can see the flexibility in the skyline, and then I can also see the wonderful shed there. An array of extra buildings in the property. Previously your business run from home, but a glorious site here, and you wouldn't have to leave home. That would have been a great place to be in the last couple of months. So stunning spot on the city fringe here for you. 5 bedrooms for your family, so enough room to spread out with the littlies or their littlies if you've got grandchildren in mind, and a wonderful family home. It's created a number of memories for the current family over the years. Both formal and informal living areas through the property, double bathrooms, and then garaging. Well, I think you gave up at 8. And counting of the cars, because you've got the double garage, you've got the double carport. That boat shed is 9 by 15, so there's a few more that can go in there. And you've also got the implement shed, which is 8 by 12. A good standard of presentation for the property too, and its decor and its flexibility and its usage. So this one should suit the biggest of families, or those coming from rural packs into town. You don't want to take that last step into the tiny residential offerings that you can have. This one's got plenty to do on it, and being close to town, it means you're not far away from everything either. Right, I'm going to look for an opening bidder off for now, lot 3. We've seen how it's done on the first 2 offerings. Remember at the start I said the market's healthy? Well, that's proof of it. So who'd like to start away, lot 3? As you find the most intelligent buyer makes the first bid. That wasn't a reference to AJ on lot 1, by the way, so don't let him take that one home. Anyone like to start? We're going to be above 1 million folks who'd like to start me. Remember, the highest bidder has first opportunity during the auction. We saw that in the previous lot, so just to start is a good position to be. Well, I'll kick it off then. I'm going to start at $1 million. I'm going to take a 50 rise from here, just see if there's any cash interest, otherwise we'll deal outside of the room. And there's lots of people that are underway here on a conditional basis. At $1 million there, and who bid me 50, your chance to treat with their owners, otherwise we'll set the property as sold. Second call here, it's only $1 million for the start there, and take your 50, otherwise we let it go. Third and final opportunity, our feedback is you like to see the transparency of the room. All done, all signed. If you don't place a bid, I'll send it aside, not indicating the value down there. And that's what we'll do. I'll take your signs as my instructions. We'll pass the property in at the level, and if you have any interest in the property, both Neil and Marty are here to take your inquiries. Well, that brings a conclusion to today's auctions. Of course, 2 of the properties will have the sold stickers. The third property very much available for your inspections and your consideration. We'd like to extend a safe journey home for you and welcome you back here in a fortnight's time as we carry on through the auctions in the winter. Thank you and have a great day.